It's Gina Brogan with Second Act Life Coaching, and this is another segment of Change Your Story, Change Your Life. So on the last video, I said that I would talk to you about how you manage those fear thoughts that crop up and what you do with them, how you quiet those barking dogs, as I like to call them, in order to shift your thoughts and to install beliefs that support your dreams and what you do want to create and to have come into your life. So this is what you do. The fear thoughts, they come all the time. They come to everybody at every level of evolution. No matter where you are in your life, in your journey, in your growth, you are going to have fear thoughts. That's part of the human condition. It's the people who know what to do with those thoughts and know how to acknowledge them. You can't ignore them. You must acknowledge your thoughts that don't serve you so that you can give them attention. I love to use the example of it's like my little kids, okay? When they were young and I was on the phone talking to whoever, it could be somebody important like, I don't know, the pizza delivery guy, or to their father, or to a girlfriend. It didn't matter who it was. Could have been president. They didn't know, and they didn't care. All they knew was their mom was on the phone. Suddenly that triggers, I think that it triggers a chemical release in children that they suddenly need something from their mom like yesterday, okay? So then I'm on the phone, kids are like, mom, 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 mama, mama, mom, mom, mommy, mom. And what happens in that situation? I'm trying to talk and I'm trying to ignore them. I'm trying to do sign language. Hey, I'm on the phone, later, give me 5 minutes, doing everything I can. But they're not stopping, right? They're being ignored. What you resist persists. So if I'm pushing, if I'm ignoring it and resisting it, it's going to persist and it's going to grow bigger. And what happens to your kid? Mom, mom, mom. Okay? Or then for some spirited kids, they might like tug you or, you know, pull your hair. I don't know, poke you, do something, or knock over the milk. They're going to do whatever it takes and they're going to keep growing until you say, yeah, oh, goodbye, friend. I can't talk right now. Hi, honey, how can I help you? Right? Then they're satisfied, they're happy, and they're like, oh yeah, can I have some more milk? Sure, that wasn't an emergency because you still have milk in your cup, but yeah, got it? Once you acknowledge that thing, that fear, that whatever, then it quiets down, right? It doesn't need to grow big to get your attention, but you must acknowledge it. So that is such a key thing. So what I want to tell you with all of that business is that when you get these fear thoughts throughout the day, if you're like me and you carry a notebook everywhere you go, you can write them down, go, oh yeah, I really want to go to Mexico in September, and then all the reasons why my ego mind, my barking dogs, my fear thoughts, my limiting beliefs want to say I can't, and write them down, okay? And then when you have some quiet time, if you can do this on a regular basis, I think that your growth will happen faster if you can do it every day. Then you can kind of push through some things. You go and you look at all of those fear thoughts and you ask yourself, is this true? You go through each one. Is this true? It may or may not be. Who knows? And you can go, where is this coming from? And if you can draw it down to go back in time to like the first time you heard that limiting belief and when you started to believe it, that's where some movement and work and clearing takes place. You look at that and you say, oh yeah, I remember, you know, and I do remember this. My dad would come home from work and he would be so stressed out. I mean, did this happen to every kid on the planet in my generation because I hear so many people say this story. He would come home from work and he'd be like, well, we're going to the poorhouse. And I'd be like, what's the poorhouse? Oh, it's where people live when they can't afford to pay their rent, their mortgage anymore. And I was like, well, kind of cool. Maybe there'll be a bunch of people there. I like a party. But I knew from the way he was saying it, it wasn't a party and it wasn't a good thing. So anyway, yes, of course, I have this limiting belief that money is always about to run out and I can't afford anything. That used to be the way I lived. And I married somebody who supported that, even though he made a ton of money. He was so uptight about every penny. And I remember throwing a nickel in the fountain once when my kids were babies because they wanted more pennies and I was out of pennies. I gave him a nickel. Oh my gosh. My ex-husband almost had a coronary. So yeah, he's got his own fear thoughts to deal with. But yeah, I mean, the way he lived supported and reinforced that scarcity mentality. And so anyway, that's an example. So I look at, and I go through every single memory, and I do this on a regular basis now because I have learned that that's how you clear through. You clear through these limiting beliefs. It's magic. So any other barking dogs that you have? Oh, I've got tons, and sometimes they still crop up. And I catch myself now, and I'm like, girlfriend, that's crazy. And so I have to do more clearing out. So once you clear out all of these limiting beliefs that hold you back and the stories that you play over and over, you replace that with a new thought. So for example, I replace all my money fears with, I'm looking at little cats over there. I've got kittens I'm fostering and they're so cute. I replace it with money flows easily through me. It comes and it goes, and I contribute to the distribution of wealth in my country. And I am part of a thriving economy. I also say I provide a very high service to my clients, and they are thrilled to pay me because my service is of very high value. So I do not allow myself to get stuck in those fear thoughts and reinforce them. Every time something comes up, I replace it with an empowering belief, and I am reprogramming my mind. It's really amazing. So once you start to reprogram your mind and you start to believe new things and new stories that do serve your highest desires, then you start to speak differently. You say things differently. You don't have that scarcity mentality. You realize that the universe is abundant and you are an abundant part of this universe. And suddenly you don't live in fear as often. And then your behavior starts to show up totally differently. You start taking inspired action toward your dreams. You don't live in a tiny box anymore. You start to come out and you know that you are safe. You know that all of your needs will be met and everything will be taken care of because you are an abundant part of this abundant universe. When you start to live that way, then more magic happens and you expand. And when you expand to the next level, you have to do more clearing up there because now you're living up here and your life has expanded and it's much bigger. And so you've got to clear up new fears and thoughts. And so that is really how you handle the fear thoughts. I love talking about this because this way of living and behaving and thinking has literally changed my life. And if for those of you who actually know me, you know how I live and show up differently. But for those of you who don't, you can maybe go to my website and read a little bit more about my story and share your stories. I want to hear what your limiting beliefs are and what is holding you back, because it's time to start living. And I would love to do whatever I can to help you start to live a more empowered, exciting life. Okay, that's it for today. This was a much longer video than some of the others have been, but I hope you really got something out of it that is of value to you. If you want to continue this conversation and you have any questions, situation, come to my website. You can schedule an appointment. I will put a link down below, and we can have a conversation to see if maybe there's other ways that I can help you step out of your small box and live a really big, giant life and have more fun. All right? Thank you so much for listening, and have a great day. Bye-bye.